Hey everybody, Harold here with another Power BI visual calculations video. Promised in a past video that I would show you more about the axis argument. We saw it in the percent of grand total, percent of parent, where you told Power BI how to calculate across or down your tables and matrices. So let me show you how that argument works. You really wouldn't even know it's there, but I did a deep dive on this in the Microsoft documentation, and it's pretty neat. So let's do a new calc on the first matrix. This is just a matrix for year and months filtered down to just 2 to leave some room on my matrix for expansion. Just 3 copies, same matrix. New calculation on the first one. I'm going to do percent of grand total, and we want to do total sales here again. And total sales again. And our standard axis is rows. If you see, there's some other arguments too. Rows calculates the rows and then goes down row by row by row. So we'll say rows, commit. I'm not going to format today. You guys have seen me do that enough, and I'm going to save a little space by not doing it, and it makes the visual a little more intuitive when I explain what's going on. So rows, those are going to equal the percent of month. So this is 15% of all January sales, 19%, so on and so on. Same for February, and then on the grand total, 12% of both months' sales, 12% of total sales, 19% of total sales in that year, 42% of total sales in that year, and 100%. And the way I know I'm using rows is the 100% are in rows. So that's rows. Go back to my report, choose my second new calc. Same calculation, percent of grand total. Total sales again. This time the axis, whoop, that didn't take. This time the axis is going to be, let's hide my data pane, columns. And you'll see that argument come up. Columns, going to go across by the columns. So we'll lock that in, commit, and let's go back to our report so we can compare them side by side. So columns. Columns is going to be the percent of the year. So 76% of the year was of the January and February sales was in January, and 24% was in February, so on and so forth. That is going to be indicated again. I can tell what's going on here. What's columns? My 100% are in columns. Now there's 2 more arguments, and I'll show you on this last one. New calculation. Again, same measure, percent of grand total. Total sales. Total sales. This time our axis, keep not doing that. Total sales. This time our axis is going to be rows, columns. So that's saying it's going down the row, over to the column, down, over, up and down. Rows, columns. Let's lock that in. Okay, rows, columns. Let's go back to the report. Now here, see, these numbers are different than everything else. What they're doing is each single one of these numbers is what percentage is it is of the grand total. So that's 9% of this grand total. That's 12% of it. That's 61% of it. That's 39. Every single value is the percentage of this grand total. The only time you're going to see the 1 is in the bottom right. There is another argument. Go back here, edit calc. It's called columns rows. So columns rows, cross over back to the front and across again. Change it to that. As far as I can tell, the table and the matrix I'm using, there's no difference. If someone knows, help me out on this one, guys. So that's how you change the axis in a quick visual calculation argument. Rows, columns, rows, columns, columns, rows. Hope that helped you guys. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please like it and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.